Arts YouTube channel. We have been writing from the 1st to the 7th of September for 7 days now. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined, whether you are joining now or whether you are joining on the replay, whether you've joined for the full 7 days, for different days, or only for today. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. So each day we have been writing on a theme. We start with a 4-minute writing warm-up. Then we use the space to create whatever we'd like to create, or we choose to carry on and do whatever we'd like to do. We've been working from the 1st to the 7th of September, and on this 1st to 7th of September 2025, it has been the lead up to the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. A full moon is a culmination point. It is a full bright light that shines down and illuminates whatever is going on in our lives. When I share work offline, sometimes I have people say to me, if I say, oh, it's going to be a full moon, or it's going to be moon, or it's in this sign, I sometimes have people say to me, oh, does that mean it's a good thing or a bad thing? It's neither good nor bad, it is neutral, and we work with the energies. We bring our own consciousness to it and we co-create with the energies. So the energies never have rule over us, and equally we don't have power over the energies. We work with them together, and whatever we are bringing to it, it helps meet us there, and then it can be a reflection. It can help us understand what is going on within us, how we relate to it. All this week we have been talking about how we personally relate to something. How do I personally relate to a prompt? How do I personally relate to a card? With the oracle card we've been looking at, we're co-creating. So whenever we're writing together, whenever we're creating anything, we're always in conversation with our environments, with the cosmos, with everything that's going on with us. And I'm now going to pull a card and see what guidance we can receive today before we go into our writing practice on this Pisces full moon. Creative sign. Okay. Druid, hold the space. So here I am holding the space for you. That's what we've been doing all this week, and you are holding the space for yourself. Congratulate yourself for turning up this space and using it in whatever way that you choose to work with this time. All this week we're looking at how we can work creatively with writing prompts. We can have a spark and write, and then from after doing 4 minutes of writing, we choose whether we want to carry on writing for the day or whether we're going to do something else. We're working co-creatively with space. And just putting aside 4 minutes or 30 minutes to say, I'm going to do something for myself. I'm going to choose this time to reflect. At this time of full moon, reflection is very much in play here. It's a wonderful time to work with those energies. Of course, like we were saying yesterday, any time is a wonderful time, whatever your intuition is telling you to do. However, you create the space, you hold the space for you to be able to do that. So each day, as you know, from the 1st to the 7th of September, we have been using the beginning of the session to do a writing exercise. Now, a prompt that I'm working with for the day, you can choose to work with that prompt as well, or write with whatever prompt you like. As some of you know, and some of you have been working with, I have a Skillshare class on the creative platform Skillshare. I believe I have a link. I will put a link after this stream. I have it on other videos. I don't have it on this one, but I will pop in there. You can get a 4 months free Skillshare with the link that I have that gives you access to all of the creative classes on there. There's thousands, loads of different disciplines. So it's a wonderful way if you're looking again for something to respond to help with your own creativity, to use that opportunity. This is also, I don't know if you ever come across this book about things to write about. It's full of prompts, 642 prompts that you work with. A friend gave that to me when I very first started writing as a birthday present. I was very grateful for it. And today we are going to be doing some writing. So I don't have all my stuff with me. Let's get it. So we're going to take a journal and a pen or a piece of paper, whatever it is that you want to be working with. I've just been moving stuff around. I've recently moved, right? I'm still here. I hope you can hear me okay. Oh, here we go. I recently moved, and I've just been today assembling the last pieces of furniture. My dad came out to me, and it is all done now without moving things around. So here is my journal, here is my pen. We're doing our 1st to the 7th of September prompts. For this particular journey, we've come to the end of it. So this is what prompt is inspired by today. It's going to be a fictional prompt that we're going to be working with. Again, you can write with this prompt for 4 minutes if you want to do some creative writing, or you can just choose your own prompt. And the prompt that I'm going to go with today is write about someone who decides to get off on the final stop of the train line. Write about someone who decides to get off on the final stop of a train line. So whenever we're doing any form of writing, as you may be aware, though I think it is very good to state here as a reminder to all of us, that we always want to be looking at who is doing it. Write about someone. So this can be whatever it is. This reminds us that we are all unique and we all will have a different person that we write about. That's why if you choose to write something, do it, because you're going to be coming up with something that is unique. You will have your own experience. So who decides to get off on the last station of the train line? Where are they? Where are they in location? Is this in whichever country you're writing in? Is it in a different country? Are they traveling? Is it their local place? And why is this happening? Why are they getting off on the last stop? It might be because they live on the last stop for a reason. It may be because they missed their stop. It may be because they've just they've never gone to the end of the train line before. They're deciding. Or it could be for a multitude of other reasons. It might be grounded in this reality. It might go off into a fantasy, another reality. Whatever it is, there are so many options. And this just shows us and demonstrates to us that whatever you choose to write is going to be important. And if you chose to share it with anyone else, it could be something that, they relate to, they will find fascinating because you're expressing your own unique opinion on it. So remember, when you're writing your prompts, to always include, and when you start any type of writing, always start with who is it? Where are they? What is the reason? And why are they doing this? It's like we use this techniques in improv as well. I do improv, taking classes and performing improv. As you see, and if you've ever done improv yourself or you want to watch improv live, you would notice, the people are making it up on the spot. So they have to have techniques to anchor into so that everyone is on the same page. Otherwise, it doesn't work out. So immediately naming who. So when we're naming who, it can be in so many different ways. It could be who are they by name? Who are they by profession? And profession can be a job, or it could be a role. It could be a relational role in society. If you've got more than one person there, to be naming them all, and especially when you have different types of people there, that's when interesting dynamics can happen, when you have different viewpoints. Where are they? Then we all know where we stand. And ever remember what we've been talking about all week is how environment can form what is happening in the story. Where I am if I'm in a park is going to be very different as to where I am as if I'm in a busy city. Getting off on a train line in one country may be very different to getting off at the end of a train line in another country, or in a rural setting or an urban setting. That then can feed into, and then because you've already named who it is, knowing who your character is and how they respond. If you know your character, who they are, what their role is in society, who their role is in relation to other people, then the writing starts to flow for you. The story starts telling itself, so that you don't have to be working so hard to keep making stuff up. It just starts flowing out. You know who your character is, you know how they would respond in different situations, and you can discover that more as you go through your journey of writing. And then why are they doing this? It's gonna give so much more to the story. They have a motivation, whether it's incidental, accidental, deliberate, on purpose. It might be the end of a journey, but it then can open up to something new. And very much when we're working with these creative energies of Pisces, it's the last sign of zodiac. It is a closing of the chapter to open up for the next stage. The full moon. It's the culmination of these 2 weeks that have just come before, but it's an opening up for the next 2 weeks before we go into that new moon, and it will be for us into the equinox as well and into a new season. So, going back to our prompt, if you choose to go with this one today, write someone who decides to get off on the last station of the train line. I am going to set a 4-minute timer here so we can do our 4 minutes of writing. Minute timer, let me get that up here. Here we go. So let's start, and I'll tell you when it's time to stop. We've got about 30 seconds left of writing. Oh, and that is our 4 minutes. Wow, congratulations to us. We have done 4 minutes of writing, 7 days. You know, when you hear minutes, it doesn't really sound like that much, but really when you put it all together across 7 days, it does build up. We've been reading over what we've written each day, which we can do right now. So if you take just a couple of minutes to read over, and remember you can read it in your head, you can say it out loud. Would encourage you to, if you feel like you're in a confidential space and it feels right to do so, to speak it out loud and hear yourself say it and hear it back. So clever when you read it back, noticing what's come up, being curious about it, maybe circling anything that is shiny to you, shiny object. It's quite often used in improv, shiny object. Oh, that stands out to me. I might use that in something else, or I might like I want to write on that more now. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the 7 days, each day, if you find things that there are that you want to keep working on, you can file them away, either digitally or within your journal, have a space or have another paper file, put them in there, build it up. And then you might find that you want to turn what you've been writing, a particular project, you might have come up with an idea and go, oh, that, I'm going to turn that into a short story, or whatever form of writing it is, a book, a film, a podcast, YouTube video, and whatever it is for you to book. So many options out there. There is anything you're working on that you'd like to share with others, please do either pop it in the chat or put it in the comments. Support each other. And if you find that you've got an idea for a project, I do have another Skillshare class on there, which is 3 steps to start up your next creative project with confidence. So we spend 30 minutes together. It's a condensed course that's designed to help spark, encourage you, and come up with systems to get your next project made. I have found myself that at times things can become very overwhelming when I'm working with all these ideas that we can have. We have all these ideas floating around, and then I need to come and bring another part of myself in and go, so you've got all those ideas, let's just get it out on one piece of paper and let's just recognize what it is that I need, the physical products. Do I need a pen? Do I need a journal? Do I need a costume? Do I need a microphone? Do I need a whatever it is? And just get it on a piece of paper and then come up with a way to how can I quickly gather those resources together, and what can I put in place to make sure that I do that. Now, as well, I am someone, perhaps you are as well, I would say that I am multi-passionate. I have lots of ideas that I get passionate about, and I think it's a wonderful thing to celebrate. And also, when we're creating, we can bring in different ideas and they can help each other, whether they're related or not. Like I was saying, when I do writing, the improv training that I've done and the improv experience that I have helps feed it. They help feed into each other. Although also, you know, maybe we're visual artists and we also use writing. We can merge them, work together and connect the dots. Sometimes there is something to be said for having so many projects that we don't necessarily complete one. And that is more than okay if that's what you want to do. However, if you have a desire within you to work on one particular project at a time and then move to the next one, or then work on one project, move on to the next one, maybe come back to another one, allow yourself to do that. The class that I've set up on Skillshare helps you tap in and go inside and go, what is it that I am passionate about right now? What is it that is the most present for me that I would like to work on? We go through some exercises to help you define that. So if you would like some help with that, again, it's available on the link that I will share. And I would love to know how you have found these 7 days. If there's anything that you want to share, any insights into what the process has been like for you, or anything else that you know that has been without the realms that we've been talking about. It's always good to have different minds chiming in, different voices chiming in, just like how this writing helps us to do that. And we have about 7 minutes left. So we can, just to let you know, I did start to go live on another stream and it wasn't quite working out, so I've come back on here just in case you witnessed that. But yes, if you want to use this time to work on anything that you have throughout the week, perhaps gathering, maybe even through all the exercises that we've done, reading it over, and also sometimes just seeing if there are themes that come up for you. I find that if we've been writing for a few days in a row, that similar themes can come up, and they're the things that are quite present for us. And again, something that we can lean into and work with. When I very first started writing, I went along to that creative writing class and started writing prompts outside of the class as well during the week. I started to notice that I would write on similar themes. In fact, the teacher picked up on it. She was like, oh, you really are interested in these, you know, this genre, this type of writing. And then she started to recommend to me other writers who wrote in that genre to help me support my writing and tap into it a bit more. So then I started to read books by another author. So of course, never copying work or stealing work or trying to find someone else's way of doing it, though it's just helpful to know what else is going on within the genre that you work in. And like as we were saying, how we're in conversation with everything. This was day 7. Hello. Yeah, how we are in conversation with everything, including other artists' work. Yeah, this is day 7. Thank you for joining now. And yeah, feel free to go back and do the other 7 days, whatever feels right to you. They are all under the live tab on this YouTube channel. Each day on it is on a different theme. We've been working on the theme of the day, which actually, this is a good reminder. We're on Sunday today. So, and as I was saying, that each day is named after it's related to either a planet or luminary. So today we're at the Sunday. Again, we're shining a light on what it is that's important to us right now within our creativity. And this can work in any way that you want. So you can do all of them together, or you can do it in an isolated way. I find writing with these prompts, it's helpful to check in. I don't know about you, if you find that, to go, how is my energy today? I'm going to do a little bit of writing, test it out, see how it is. Also helpful as a warm-up, just to physically get the hands moving, whether we're working with a pen or typing or working with our voices. I've shared before that I find sometimes, just taking my phone, flipping it around to video form and then just speaking into that video or putting on the voice recorder and working in that way. I find very much when creating characters that helps. If I've got a character and a strong viewpoint that I want to get across, just to speak as that character either into a video camera or into a phone. And that's more the type of work that I do, although I can imagine maybe that helps writing more prose work, whatever type of writing. I'd be interested to know what type of writing that you do, genre that you write in. I'm quite new to live streaming, so I'm not quite picking up these messages, but I really do appreciate you being here. Yes, I'll share this curious, just as we come to the end. I've been live streaming for 30 minutes every day from the 1st to 7th of September. Support us with writing and writing up to this full moon. We've been working up to this lunar eclipse, which within the next half an hour is when it's reaching its peak. How to push through and find your creative direction on days when you're lethargic or disconnected feeling. That's a really good question. I find that being kind to ourselves and being like we have to write every day or create every day. Sometimes we're just not in the energy and life happens and we've got other things to do. And I also find that writing without expectation or creating without expectation, I'm not saying that you're doing that, I'm just saying for myself, what I found that if I feel like I have to do it, then it becomes a chore. But if I'm doing it, that's why I like this full writing warm-up. So I'll just take a writing prompt, either from a resource, like for example, yeah, exactly, give ourselves room without forcing. Yes, space, room without forcing. That's such a good way of putting it. And I just will do a check-in, like this book, for example, 642 things to write about. And I always feel like, we're writing in collaboration with something else. So having a prompt, someone give you a prompt, and then you write on that for 4 minutes or draw on that for 4 minutes, whatever your form is. And then after 4 minutes, we can't put expectations on ourselves within 4 minutes anyway, can we? We don't have to, we're not going to necessarily create an award-winning piece of work. We might do. You hear about that quite a lot with writers or musicians who do sometimes. But I feel like, yeah, exactly as you said, without force, we just write for force and whatever comes out. If I'm still feeling lethargic after that, then I go, oh, it's a day where I'm feeling lethargic. Maybe there's something else I need to do to tend to my needs, and maybe writing or creating is not the thing, not to push through. Yeah, you're welcome. And if I feel like it is a day, then I go ahead. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It's lovely to be writing in community. And thank you for joining as well. This is the end of the live stream now. As I said, I've been live streaming for 30 minutes every day, offering some prompts at the beginning, offering what cards have come up. Yes, and keep building it up. And thank you. Yes. Then, yep, holding the space for ourselves and giving ourselves whatever it is we need in that moment. Thank you very much for joining and also for committing to your own creativity. I think that's wonderful. And I think that's such a beautiful insight to put in, that creating without force and giving ourselves room without force. It's been wonderful for this 1st of September to 7th September, building up to this culmination point. Remember, we are supported by all of the nature that's surrounding us. Today is the Pisces full moon that is shining a light, giving us support. We've got our druid here holding the space, helping us hold space. In about half an hour, that will be there. Thank you, I really appreciate that. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Bea, and thank you to the others as well. and I wish you all the best. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, evening, or morning, whatever I'm going to do next.